I am a normal.
I don't know what happened, but we're back.
Guy.
Let's go home.
And so we're here. We're ready. I'm energized. I'm charged. I'm sure you are too. Some might be just waking up, piling into the chat to see what is going on today. Who's going to testify? But this is a place where you can freely express yourself. Pretty much we let everything go. Just don't insult other members for their opinions. You know the deal, But pretty much if you, are for Diddy and you feel like Diddy's being railroaded or, you're not sure, you're welcome in here too to share your opinions, share why, share your thoughts, even if they're one-liner comments. Come on in. We appreciate a lot of people's opinions and perspectives. Oh, Xavier Donaldson, right? That appears to be Xavier Donaldson coming in with suits, different suits. Some of these lawyers, fashion show, coming in and out of the courthouse. They have to look pretty spiffy. They have to look reputable, and a lot of them do. These are top-notch attorneys. However you think about them, it seems like he does have a dream team. But is it in his favor? Have they been stopping the bleed? The case of Sean P. Diddy Combs, the United States of America. Well, I could say, my opinion thus far, the defense does some cross on some of these individuals. I believe, in my opinion, Mia got the most of the cross as far as the most significant cross that the defense has done, I feel, in this trial on anyone was on Mia. Had her maybe on the ropes, maybe not. But here we are. We're continuing to go through each and every witness. The star witness here today, Jane, possibly coming on as early as early afternoon after lunch. Oh, we got the publicist. Yeah, we got publicist, right? Holly, that's Sean P. Diddy Combs' publicist arriving. I believe her last name is Baird, right? Baird. She has been a figure that we've been seeing outside the courthouse regularly. She comes out, checks her phone, comes in and out of the courthouse. The morning, the evening, the breaks she's seen outside the doors there, checking her phone, maybe getting something to eat for the breaks. I don't know. And it seems like she is Team Diddy, the publicist. This one face that we've seen that you could say that is in support of Diddy Combs. Another individual that sometimes joins her or the family, the gentleman with the...
Of course, those who got something to lose is in support of him.
Puffy hat, free puff shirt.
Them freak-offs.
I believe his last name is Finney, Mr. Finney. He seems like he's out there in support of Diddy regularly.
No, the Diddy left.
Diddy has his family coming in and out of court. Sometimes there's quite a few of them. Sometimes there's nobody. Or one or two. Janice Combs, will she arrive today? Probably. We'll see. We shall see. There's reports that inside this courtroom or the overflow room, there are some supporters of Diddy Combs. There's reports that some people could be in some trouble. We don't know what's going to happen out of that. Apparently, there might be some motions filed within, maybe now they've been filed already. Nothing that I've seen posted in reference to sanctioning individuals that went in there and were in the courtroom and came out and revealed the identity of Mia. There could be apparently some repercussions on that. I don't know what would happen. Banned from court for life. Maybe contempt of court for violating the court's order. I don't know. This goes for the people that actually, when you go into a courtroom, there's a decorum, there's rules and everything like that. So if you go in the courtroom and they say, being in here, do not film or reveal who the victims is, and you go do that, you could be subjected to being in trouble. I don't know if anyone will get in trouble, but there could be some names dropped very, very soon. Yesterday, someone got kicked out for sharing support of Diddy. So, there is some things going on in the courtrooms. It's interesting. It seems like the overflow room has sides clicking up. Pro-Diddy, anti-Diddy in this overflow room. And they're all sitting there in different corners, different teams, different areas of the overflow room, watching this trial in real time, just like we are watching and listening on what's going on. We'll see what comes out of that. Welcome aboard. So today, it appears, the way the media is putting out, that the next witness could be Brianna Bungolin, aka Banna. And, she's filed a lawsuit. She's filed a lawsuit against Diddy, claiming that she was dangled off of a 17-story high balcony, and then Diddy slammed her onto patio furniture in Cassie Ventura's apartment. She might be next, or it could be the digital forensic video expert, Mr. Piazza. We don't know either or, but both of them are expected to testify before Jane Doe. Jane Doe is a big, big mystery. Everyone wants to know, who is Jane Doe? Do you know who Jane Doe is? Because I sure don't. I sat around last night, honestly, just thinking, is Jane Doe KK? And give me reasons why. I said to myself, why I think KK and Jane Doe are the same. Oh, Brian Steele. Here he is, Brian Steele. Brian Steele has a smile to him. One thing I noticed about Brian Steele is each day he comes with a smile. Like he doesn't look like he's a arrogant guy in a sense of a mean guy and stuff. It seems like he does walk. I've seen some clips of him interacting with some YouTubers and streamers out there, that ask him questions while he's walking, but he seems like he keeps a smile. He appears to be polite. Some lawyers are very arrogant. Some are very, won't say nothing, looking mean, tough, whatever, or we have no comment. But he seems like he's very a likable guy, right? Steele, smiling. I don't know if it's fake or he's just putting on an image, but it appears he's a nice guy on the surface. I'll say that with Mark too, another lead attorney, the head attorney. A lot of people have been interacting with him outside the courthouse, and he's kind of talked with people a little bit, smiling and talk. He doesn't reveal much. None of them really reveal much. Everyone expected them to come out and give press conferences every day. That it doesn't appear to happen. But they seem like they do talk and interact a little bit. Not the lawyers like, get away from me. We have nothing to say. No comment. And just storm off. But yeah, she's going to be testifying most likely, Jane Doe. And I've been saying overnight, who is Jane Doe? Is Jane Doe KK? The times just seem like it's so very, very close. She's the closest to Diddy. The way she left the company apparently in 2023 kind of jives with me about, Jane Doe's time of events in 2020 on, about things that were happening to Jane Doe. Makes me wonder, how could it be not KK? Considering KK has been name dropped all over the place as doing things for Diddy. Now, is this Garagos? A lot of people say if this is Garagos, one of his other attorneys, Tenny Garagos, it appears. One thing interesting, a lot of people have been saying that Garagos and KK look alike. They have this similar look. Jane Doe apparently is coming from overseas. Now, I went on KK's. I'm not going to lie. I started digging in on KK last night. Finding out where she's from, what's her bio, a little bit. Because reason being is we're going to know pretty quickly. I assume we're going to know, all of you and listening to some of this stuff that comes out. I feel that we're going to identify Jane ourselves, and we have that right to do that. We're not bound under any court order ourselves. We're not in that courthouse. It doesn't apply to us. If we find out who these people are, we have every right to share. I just want to make that clear. But all of you are probably going to be sleuthing and trying to figure out, who Jane is. Now, I went onto her bio. Apparently, there's not much information on her. It talks about her job projects in the past with Diddy, but I wanted to know where she was born, where she grew up, and everything like that. And the only thing I've really seen was Los Angeles on KK. Where is she from? Where's she from? Now, one thing I noticed is one thing they said she could be in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And she's got a degree from a university in North Carolina. Don't know where she would be, but whoever Jane Doe is, she's most likely going to share on the stand where she's from. And that's why I was going to cross-reference it with KK so we can eliminate her or say, hey, is it KK? Is it KK? Is it KK? Now, I think it's important, for us, for instance, Mia. We shared who Mia is, right? But we didn't hone in on Mia as calling her consistently her real name. We shared who Mia is. We shared her photo, stuff on her, but then we kept it moving and just referred to her as Mia. Because to me, Mia is Mia, not... And, if KK is Jane Doe, I think we're still going to kind of just say Jane Doe, Jane Doe, Jane Doe, Jane Doe. We don't really want to hone in and start calling them by their real names, if you get what I mean. But who is Jane Doe? Literally, who is Jane Doe? Who could it be? Because if it's not KK, what's going on? Who was in this inner circle? Because I haven't heard any other female names on any of these testimony from any of these other victims. I heard maybe some of these human resource people, but I don't think the human resource people names, the female names, some of them are Jane. People have opinion. You can share it in the chat. You're more than welcome. So good morning. So Diddy's team, legal team, just like clockwork, they are coming in. They're coming in. Yesterday we heard from Eddie Garcia, very first person to talk in the morning. Security guard, the brown paper bag of $100,000, the money counter. KK, the bodyguard, Diddy, trying to get that tape. They want the tape. Eddie, under immunity, testifies that he had to consult with his boss. Boss said, go ahead, we want $50K. Then the arrangement to get the tape. A lot of criminal element to that. Diddy's even telling Eddie, watch what you spend on the money, not to trigger the IRS, more or less my speculation, IRS or law enforcement, about big purchases. Then we heard from Ferguson, Derek Ferguson, former CFO. I think one of the most important things and only reasons why Ferguson got on there is to corroborate the $20,000 Cassie Ventora's parents transaction made to Diddy in that blackmail. You're going to pay or I'm going to release these sex tapes type of deal. That whole craziness. He was more like the finance guy that was responsible for the inflows and outflows of all the money in Bad Boy Enterprises, all the business ventures. And, he testified about the wire transfer that came in from Cassie's dad. So, two key people, I think, is important for the whole piece of the the whole putting the pieces of the puzzle together for the RICO. And that was their role. I think they established, and I think they both did well. I don't think none of them got stopped. The defense, I think one is with Ferguson, just to point a picture that Diddy is not necessarily solely responsible for all the financial aspects. There's others, and also a lot of business and good things over the years, and got him to admit. Plus, he also got him to admit that he has not personally seen any workplace violence, essays, freak-offs, and that sort of deal, while Ferguson worked for the company. And Ferguson's worked there for 2 decades. 2 decades. Come on in. More and more people are piling in. The United States of America versus Sean P. Diddy Combs outside the federal courthouse, 500 Pearl Street. It looks like it is a sunny day there. Weather right now, it's cloudy, partly cloudy, 69 degrees. Oh my gosh, it's pretty beautiful. Look, somebody walking there without even a jacket. Do you know that today in New York City, the temperature is going up to 82? Oh my goodness, it's almost like picture perfect weather. Sunshine, 82, humidity 55%, light winds. Oh, that's a great day to walk around New York City, for sure. Now outside that courthouse, some days it's a circus, some days it's not. There are people that come out. I think the days that it wasn't maybe had a lot to do with the weather, as for the last few weeks, it at least rained a few days per week. So I think that kind of like dampened the party out there, the party atmosphere. But if you get days like this, which I'm looking at the weather forecast, the rest of the week is pretty sunny until late Friday when the court is over. But when you get days like this, you might start bringing out people. And I also think a lot of people are going to start congregating outside this courthouse around the time the defense starts. The defense, after the prosecution rests and the defense starts. But for us, I think we're going to be busy, big time, for the next week on Jane Doe. It appears Jane Doe, when she hits that stand, it's all going to be about Jane Doe for days, because the prosecution has indicated that they intend to keep Jane Doe on the stand to Monday.
Damn.
Monday. So if that's the case, we got 2 more days to talk about Jane Doe all day, every day. At the edge of our seats, listening to what she has to say. I think she's going to reveal more than any other of these victims, even more than Cassie. And then the defense will cross her into next week, possibly into the mid next week. So I think for the week, it's all about Jane Doe. So it will be interesting. Oh, I don't know what they're zooming in on. Who do we got? They all got these cameras on this individual here. You know, is that the individual that got kicked out of the courtroom yesterday? Because there was some photographs, sketches of somebody got kicked out. Are they interviewing the person that got kicked out of the courtroom yesterday? That is interesting, because I want to know who got kicked out of the courtroom. Somebody was told not to come back in the courtroom and got kicked out for yelling. Some people in the chat are saying, yes, it looks like the person that got kicked out, because you see all the cameras there. Somebody did something. Somebody here is something centered around this case.
How's it going?
And it could be possibly they're interviewing someone.
This lady? Okay, I was wondering if my people.
People are saying, yeah, it could be her. I don't know.
She made a big deal.
That's interesting, because we want to know who got kicked out. Reason for that, too.
And I was just like, we don't shoot crazy.
AUSA said at her opening, you will see text messages by Jane saying she did not want to do freak-offs. We're going to be seeing a lot of text messages apparently from Jane, and also nudity is going to be talked about. So what is she saying? From AUSA opening statement, you will see photos of damage to 4 doors in Jane's home. Not even a year ago. So right before or after Diddy's home got raided, around that raid time, before the indictment.
10 crazy people are dead.
Now who is this individual? What's going on here? Because they are all interviewing this individual. Or unless she's like a commentator. I don't recognize this individual here. Does anyone know who this is and why they're all surrounding her? AUSA opening. You will see text messages by Jane saying she did not want to do the free call. We're also going to see text messages, and also the jurors, not us, I don't believe the public, is going to be seeing nudity photos. Photos of nudity in these text messages. It has been discussed yesterday. Also, folks, Diddy is complaining, and his attorneys are complaining they're not getting enough time to access him as trial goes on, and they're asking the judge for more time. Apparently, the judge allowed Diddy to stay in the courtroom yesterday to 6 p.m. with U.S. Marshals and watching while he speaks to his attorney and goes over the text between him, apparently him, and Jane Doe. So lawyers want access, they want more time. They've already said that they want to be able to reach their client regularly to 10 p.m. every night. They want to continue to meet Diddy in the courtroom after court is over. So the judge leaves, prosecutors leave the courtroom, everyone leaves. Oh, children.
Guys, please don't block the pool.
Children. Yep.
You totally blocked
children. There's people affiliated with Diddy.
Full
Looks
camera,
like
please.
the children are arriving. They're arriving early. Or no, this could be Janice. Could be Janice. Janice and the children. Janice usually seems like she's been coming first, and a couple days in a row now, I believe that Janice has been coming before court starts. The children be coming in after. After. So we got here. Yep, it should be Janice. Janice coming out. Should be Janice. Yep, it looks like Janice. Somebody with a purse. And here she is, Janice Combs.
How are you?
Janice Combs. She's not wearing the hat. Here she comes. She's holding hands. Janice is coming out. Janice is going in to listen to testimony. Janice got name dropped yesterday by the chief financial officer. Janice Combs, Music, INC, part of the bank account set up to the company.
Good.
A lot of people have a lot of opinions about Janice Combs, her role in all of this.
No, the kid's my cousin.
Okay, so Janice has arrived. So we can say the mother has been there. The mother is there. Now the question is the children going to arrive today? So here we are. Good morning, everyone. Pile in. Key testimony. We are going to chat, talk in real time, share what we do. You know the routine. You know how we do it on JLR Investigations on this trial. It's more or less a routine that we got. Less things go crazy. It was crazy for me yesterday because as we were ending yesterday, some thunderstorms were coming through my area in Florida. We got a lot of storms coming through Florida for the next couple of days, like these crazy storms that come in for a couple minutes, and then it's sunny, and then it rains heavy for about 10 minutes, thunder, and then it goes away. Sometimes hail. But I had a storm come in yesterday right when we were ending, and I'm like, oh my gosh, goodness, I hope it doesn't take my electric out or take the heat out. I hope we don't lose power. But we're good. God works good for us. Judge is on the bench. Right now, CNN is reporting already. Judge is on the bench.
Tony!
We got another report. It says,
Good morning.
Judge rules that exhibits used during Jane's testimony won't be shown on video to protect her identity.
He's not with us.
The exhibits admitted into evidence during Jane's testimony will not be shown on the video feeds for the public. Jane, one of Diddy's accusers, was using the pseudonym during his trial is expected to take the stand today, this afternoon. The judge granted the request yesterday from prosecutor Comey, who said it would help avoid the risk of Jane's identity being
The
revealed.
wonderful Caesar.
Comey said there's going to be a significant amount of exhibits, including text messages, threads, shown to the jury for Jane Doe's testimony.
Darling.
All right, so we got that.
Caesar, not praise him.
We got that.
So we over there, right? You guys are doing that.
Exhibits,
Yeah,
texts.
All right. So Fred is taking his baby to school. Fred's the guy we're working with today.
Who's Fred?
Fred, so how you been
Exhibits
doing?
and texts, Jane Doe.
Good.
Where are the children? We're waiting for the children to come on in. And we're waiting to get this party started. In the meantime, I'm going through the chats. I'm going through the news feeds to see what's going on. Georgia, thank you for being a member.
It's like, the what?
Green Eye Sparkle, good morning to you. And nice to see you again. Welcome back. Thank you for the super sticker. Appreciate it. Thank you. Very, very grateful for all of you. Chris RD44. You do have a very good point. They're not children. And I do want to emphasize that. They're adults. The children are adults. So as we say, the children, and that's a great point. I want to address that. That's a great point. These are adults. They're his children, but they're adults. I want to make that clear. They're adults. Some of them are in their 30s, right? At least one in their 30s. Adults. His children are adults. Children are adults. But we're going to say his kids because, you know, even though some of you adults, you have kids, your kids are older than 18. They are his kids, his children.
Allegedly.
Well, we still waiting
Thank
for
you.
the possible.
JLR said Jane graduated college in North Carolina. I'm reading the comments. I would say the kids. Lisa says, I would say the kids. I mean, we could call them by first name basis if you want to do that. I'll go by his kids. His kids. His kids. His kids. I see a lot of people starting to come in. Thank you. Welcome. Grateful for all of you to be here today. Trial testimony continues today. Day 16. Brianna. Now, I want to know about that before Jane Doe. I want to know about this balcony incident in Cassie. I want to know about what's going on with the balcony inside Cassie's apartment. What's all that about? We're going to get more details. Adult children here, Carrie Lynn. Yeah, this is going to be interesting about the balcony. 17th floor balcony, they say. That's pretty high up. It's almost like Diddy wanted to be like his rival, Suge Knight. Remember Suge Knight supposedly hung Vanilla Ice from a balcony? Well, I think Diddy tried to emulate his style and did that to this poor victim here, Brianna, who's going to be testifying. She goes by Banna. So this will be interesting what she has to say about that. I think she's next. Either it's Piazza, the video guy. Maybe they might not bring Piazza. I don't know. They're saying that one guy is coming in from Florida to testify. He could be next. Judge is on the bench, by the way. So we're getting everything up and running. Probably go through some housekeeping matters, addressing issues. Before the jury comes in, Judge, what about the witnesses' conflicts with other romantic conflicts with other romantic partners? What about the witness's conflicts with other romantic partners, the judge asked? What does that mean? AUSA. The last one was with a colleague, not a girlfriend. AUSA. The last one was with a colleague, not a girlfriend. Combs and Shapiro goes on to say, this is impeachment material. So they're looking to impeach someone already. Judge says, these are assaults under Rule 708B. Is that fair? Shapiro says it's not 608B. We're happy to provide the proffer ex parte. It's difficult to explain the fact. Judge, ex parte proffer is irregular. So Shapiro has already said there's some sort of impeachment material on a witness. Who? Who are they talking about? Who are we talking about here? So they're already going on right off the rip discussing these matters. So I'll try to find out a little bit more. She's the one that they were talking to today. I don't know what's going on with her. She's the one that they were all surrounding her. JLR investigates. Yeah, apparently she is the one, I believe, that got kicked out, because I'm showing another photo. I'm seeing another photo. So we kind of identified, in a sense, the one that apparently got kicked out. 2 minutes ago, spectators and reporters are filling into the courthouse for the 16th. Oh, look at that limo. Whoa. Look at that limo. You see that limo? I just looked up. I saw this long stretched limo. Spectators and reporters are filing into the courthouse for the 16th day of the Sean P. Diddy Combs trial. It says we are approaching the halfway mark in a trial expected to last 2 months. And local public interest remains strong. It goes on to say, drivers slow down when passing the courthouse, craning their necks out the windows of the car to catch a glimpse at what's going on, and maybe try to see if they can find a celebrity. So it's interesting. I read that report as cars were going by, very, very slow. So it's kind of just showing the atmosphere out there of what's going on. Drivers go past the courthouse very, very slowly. They want to see what's up. So what about the witnesses' conflicts with other romantic partners? And it says the last one was with a colleague, not a girlfriend. So when the AUSA says the last one was with a colleague, not a girlfriend, and he's replying to romantic partners, are we talking about Ferguson, the last witness? Because are we talking about a male witness here with romantic partners with a female? And Combs is like, this is impeachment material. So I don't know if they're going to be trying to impeach possibly Derek Ferguson. Oh, there's Aaron Kontersky. Justice reporter, ABC News. He just walked out. That's one guy I always recognize. All right, so court is in session. They're talking about different matters before the jury comes in already. Combs and Shapiro is talking about impeachment. Combs and Shapiro says, we want to put in album art for Miss Ventura's Love a Loser video. It shows she is engaged in business independent of Mr. Combs. You're going to ask, why do you need photos? The judge says, I was going to ask that. Shapiro, AUSAs have done it too. So Shapiro wants to omit into the record album art for Miss Ventura's Love a Loser video. And they want to prove that it shows she is engaged independently of Mr. Combs. with this work. I might be to show that, she's not in full control, under full control of Diddy. That has been debated by the defense, saying that she had opportunities and worked with other artists at the time, wasn't in that full control of Diddy. I think the defense wants to present this album art as an exhibit. Maybe they're trying to impeach Miss Ventura's testimony, and maybe that's what they're talking about. This is impeachment material. I don't know. We'll see where this goes. Get a clue. But they're discussing on the bench right now. Diddy trial, day 16. Come on in. We're about to get started. And big testimony today. Could be the worst testimony yet for Diddy. It really could with Jane, because Jane is going to be there for a long time. Longer than what Cassie was on. Longer than what Capricorn Clark was on. Longer than what Mia was on. Longer than any other victim here. So we'll see. We put the tweet here on the screen. This was just discussed. I think the defense wants to paint the picture that Cassie was working. She worked independent from Diddy at times. We'll see what that is about. During the course of the trial in the morning time, also the defense and prosecution have been submitting exhibits and records and different things. Sometimes both parties complain they haven't received it in time, or they're just receiving it for the first time, or they need more time. I saw a comment. It seems they re-asked to omit pieces that were previously excluded further into the trial every week. Kind of agree with that assessment there. Yeah, here we are, folks. Sean Diddy Combs trial. Let's get this party started. 8:57. They are starting, I believe, at 9 a.m. this morning. By the way, just so everyone knows, heads up, tomorrow, the 5th, it appears court will be starting later than 8:15. It is believed that the court starts actually at 11. For whatever reason, it's unclear. They're starting at 11 to 4 tomorrow. So with that being said, there is a possibility we come on at 8:15 if there's things going on. But it probably seems more logical for us to come on maybe about 10-ish, so we can see the people coming in and see what's going on. So we'll be flexible on that. We don't know what time we'll come on, but we'll definitely come on before court starts at 11, so we can do recaps and share what's going on. So I figure at the latest 10 a.m. we'll come on for that 11 a.m. start, just to see who arrives and everything, and who's out there and what's being said. I don't know why they're delaying, and I've really never heard that before, where one day they choose to start way later. Now, we know a lot of times they end up early. They end early for the day. They've done that here on Memorial Day weekend. They actually ended at like 2:30 to give everyone a long Memorial Day weekend, but we don't know what that's about. Hi, JLR from Northern Ireland, SG1007. Ireland, how are you?
And we'll be back later. This is your boy Doug with coverage of the Puff Diddy trial. Take care. Enjoy your day.